we're gonna fish in a local lake ecosystem. It's basically a series of very small lakes that connected by streams. So I'm gonna start upstream and I'm going downstream to visit all of them. We're gonna fish for trout mainly, and I have basically I grabbed like everything I have in for fishing for different types of fishing. Like I have my favorite spinning rod for lakes and freshwater fishing. Then I have lures, I have spinners, I have Bombarda and flies in case if we go that way. I also have worms actually, and I have all the setup required for worm fishing. So the thing is, it's still extremely warm outside today. I brought temperature checker, and I'll check the temperature of the water and we'll see how warm it is in the water. So the thing is, with the trouts, they tend to go to the bottom when it's during the daytime. Now it's almost 5 p.m. so that's when in normal summer fishing would start. Today I'm not sure, because again it's 27 degrees Celsius outside. I'm not sure if how hungry is the fish now this time of day. So let's go and hope we catch something today. We didn't start yet, but I already found some food. See here? That's a nice berries. I think they are ready to be consumed. Look how big this one is. These guys are almost size of the strawberries and they taste so good. I don't know if you can farm. I never seen them actually sold in the stores. That's the thing. Amazing taste. So I think I see one spot. Let's just quickly check what's here. Yeah. Actually looks quite deep down there. And I think that's where the boat stands, and I guess I don't have license to fish with the boat. What I can do though, I can probably step inside of the boat and try to throw from it. So let's try that. I'm gonna fish with this silver and red classical lure. I have this old temperature gauge and just gonna check the temperature in the water. I don't want to go down from 25 degrees. No, I think it's colder than that. I think it should make the measurement quite quick, but I don't know. I'll just leave it like this for a few minutes and see. So I'm going into the boat. This is kind of organization-owned boat. It's not a private one. Okay, let's just try it. Good cast. I'll let my lure sink a bit, because I'm pretty sure what the fish is close to the bottom now. And let's just start. Nope. Again, I'll just let it sink a bit before I start reeling. It's not that heavy lure, it'll take some time for it to go and reach close to bottom. Nothing. I think I don't want to fish from the boat anymore, because I don't know if you hear that, but it creates a lot of noise here. And I think it could actually annoy the fish as well. If the sound annoys me, then I guess fish feels even worse. So I'll just go to another spot now. Same, 25. Well, of course, here it's much warmer than out there, so we'll probably check it later on a deeper stretch. Well, I have to admit that on the map, this lake was more promising. I thought it's gonna be much easier to get to the water, and for me at least, this side of the lake looks like it's not for fishing from the shore. It's more like you need to have a boat or you need to try another side. I don't know if you get to another side today because my route is just going downstream and trying to another lake, or there will be something in between. Say hello, guys. So you think that you are out there in the wild and then civilization comes back to you. Smells like a diesel. Yep, so just gonna see if there is something else around here, but I'll just stick to my main route and try the next lake. So we just came to the turn. You see that way is for the second lake. That way, I think it's just to the south and to the nearest city. It's yeah, we just follow our route to the right and follow the next lake. It's still very hot outside. I hope during the next hour temperature will go down a bit so I can feel the difference. That'll make fish more aggressive and, you know, we'll see its presence on the surface. Look, there's just a bench in the middle of nowhere. And the second lake is very, very close. I think I can just make a quick stop here. Just made a quick stop, just have some water. And maybe I can show you my lures. I had a stop in a local fishing shop today and I got a bunch of spinners. I think these ones I got just it's a copper, yellow, it's a yellow and red. I have a copper and red and the same yellow but with the dark black wing. Also got this red and silver, my favorite color, just in a spinner. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting today. And this is just, you know, we call it dupes. If we're gonna fish with worms, let me actually show you how the worms look like. It says that it's from EU, so yep, it's worms with European Union citizenship. Fat and juicy. Live red worms for anglers. Cool, cool. I think they used to sell these worms for salmon fishing, but the river that I fish for salmon is closed now, actually, emergency closing until 31st of July or something like that. They will check it again and see if, you know, if it's suitable for fishing after. So yeah, everyone who fishes salmon there just stopped, and you know, if you stop and then you wait. It was terrible season for salmon fishing this year, and I wonder if people bought expensive you know, because expensive tickets or something, because you know, many people come from Germany, for example, other countries. They rent cabins around. They sometimes they hire local guides that kind of help them, and all that can cost a lot of money. If you live here though, it could be almost nothing for you, and like, why do I need a guide? I can be a guide, I think. So just, yeah, and people spend a lot of money, they come and then they say, they get, no, sorry, you cannot fish. But it's pity for all of us, not for just tourists. I think we can continue. All the way, it's plenty of wild strawberries. maybe a couple of kilometers of this. Wow, that's awesome. I think instead of fishing I could just be a wild strawberry eater. So this is the stream that connects to lakes, and if you see, it's completely dry. There's some moisture in the bottom, but that's not the water, right? It's just, yeah, so I think it's a rare thing here that there's no stream anymore. I hope there will be some rains in the next week. I hope it will normalize a bit. I also heard that heat goes away in the next week, so let's just hope. What happened is I was halfway to the second lake, and then I thought, okay, there is a parking on the second lake too, and if I just keep going, I'll get there, but then I have to go back all the way up to my car. So what I decided to do instead, I went back, and now I'm just walking downstream again, but from the other side of the lake, of the first lake. And what's gonna happen here, I'm gonna try to find the spots here, and also there is a kind of another lake, another small lake that I can only reach from this side of the first lake. So, long story short, I'm just going to check a few more spots, and then I'll go back to car again and drive to the second lake and probably stay there until the end of the day, because that one is deeper and I could probably just find a warm fishing spot where I pretty much everywhere, and you know, throw far and sit there and wait. It's a copper with yellow spots and the tail, orange tail. Okay, so here we have a quite bit of shadow place, and I think I'll actually try worm and just sit here and relax. It's a nice view here. I think actually it's a perfect spot for just fishing and spending time in the wilds. I'm going to set up fishing float for worm fishing. I need a dupe or a float. Okay. What the? Could that? Oh no. Thought I left them on that bench where I had a quick break. So I'm going to use the biggest one. I'll just try to do something very simple. I'll try to connect the end of my line to the T connector like this, and then I will connect one to the float and another one to the actual line that with the hook and the weights. I guess I need a short, that's the weights I have, and I actually did not try them yet. I need to try to measure the proper weight for this float. Yeah, this fluorocarbon leader, I'll just use that to very short one, so I can just connect it. It's important that you connect side connector, not the main one to the float. Okay, so this part is connected, and I'm just gonna now, I'll add some of the weights. Okay, so this was supposed to be, I think it's like a 4 grams, and I'll just try to, I have 1.9 grams, big one, so I'm just going to have 1 or 2 of the biggest ones. And this way we can just test if it's okay. Wait. Yep, so it's nothing special. Just going to put it in the water and see how it looks like. I think we can stand here. I don't know if you see it. I think it's perfect. Now I'm just gonna put a line and a hook and worm, and let's continue with the fishing. So I've been sitting here for like an hour. Now it's 7:40, and it was completely dead. But I see that. I think you see that as well. Wind has stopped or decreased, and now it's much more, or like I see some activity on the surface. I see some activity on the water. It's just started. I think if maybe in the next half an hour, if it continues like that, we'll see much more fish closer to surface. And I see there maybe, and that means that I can probably keep the worm just drifting, and I will tie and I will hook it to something else, not to my rod, and I will just use my rod with the flies. It's dry flies and Bombarda, just to throw and try to see if fish will take a fly from the surface. I got one bite on the worm in the beginning, but so I don't know what was that. Just took it once and just let it go. So what happened yesterday is that it was around 8 p.m. When I was sitting there in that spot fishing with worm, and I felt actually quite exhausted, and I decided to drive home, fix a few things that I didn't fix, like for example that float that I used yesterday, it was not really visible in the water, so I just took another one that's much wider, much bigger. And so it's the next day, it's Sunday actually, yesterday was Saturday obviously. I decided now, so I started now at 7:20. I'm actually now going to that second lake that I supposed to get to in the first day, and that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to try a few things there, and if it doesn't work, I go back to that spot and I would sit there and try the worm until it actually gets dark. Today the weather is much better. It's not that oh, look at this is where the water's supposed to be, here. Yep. There. You can see some fish already. So this fish is trapped basically. I think it's actually a lot of small trouts. Good news is that tomorrow or day after tomorrow it's gonna rain, so I really hope that all this will be covered with a layer of water so fish can actually move further. So maybe I'll come actually later and try to rescue the small trouts, because well, it's not that far to the lake from here, and I really think that the fish shouldn't die like that. This place is definitely not very often visited by people. Let's try this spot. I don't know how close I can come to the water here. Well, it looks like a nice round lake. Nothing special really. There's some rocks on the other side, there and there. Someone actually made this small bench. I think I can try to fish from here and see where that goes. Okay, so I put this kind of copper and reddish with black spots lure. Yep, got a fish. Got a fish. Or not. Nope. Yep. That's it. Look at here. That's a small perch. Quite nice fish. Let's release it. It's a small guy. I'm not gonna keep him. And this time it was not when I threw it into in the middle, but it was more along the coastline, like shore. So probably if that fish stayed closer to where I am. So I got a small perch and released it, and now I'm going to the other spot, the spot where we ended yesterday, where I ended yesterday, and I'll try to make a couple of throws with spinners probably, and then I'll switch to float. I think I will switch to float, and I'll use it on the short distance, so it's not gonna sink to the bottom. Today weather is much better than yesterday, but it's still, I think, too warm, and maybe one day is just not enough to, you know, change the conditions for fish. So I think it's still scared, it's still there on the bottom, and so on. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a couple of throws with that lure that we got perch on, and if it doesn't work, I'll probably continue with the worm fishing. I'm using this reddish and copper. Small fish. I don't know what was it. Look there. We got another guy. That's a much better size perch, but oh well, still a small guy. I think I'm gonna release that as well. Wow. That was quick. One thing is that it was not far in the water, it was just, I don't know, a few meters from shore. I saw the fish actually. I saw it's like a prey of perch, and yeah, it just came and took it. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have this Bombarda. It's a floating one from Lawson, and it's 15 grams, should be more than enough to throw it far. And I have just a set of common flies. I guess I'm gonna try the biggest one from these guys. The biggest is because it's very hot water today as well. So, and the rule is simple: the warmer the water, the bigger fly I use. So I think this is the last stretch, and I got this big float. So I'm packing my stuff, I'm going home now. It was second day and I got 2 perches. Unfortunately I didn't get any trout today, and I think it's still too early because they don't want to go out, and probably not very keen on lure and even worm. So I just think I need to wait for the weather to get better after rains in a couple of days, and for the weather, for the temperature to go down a bit, maybe 5 degrees down on average. So, and then I can come back and try again, or I'll just go another place. Yeah, so we got fish. I think it was good. My mic actually stopped working. That's not good. But if you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe, and I promise we'll get much better catches.